Hey everyone, it's Elliott, and welcome back to the channel. So I'd like to talk about playing hilariously, playing ridiculously, playing so extra that you might judge yourself if you heard yourself back, like way past your area of comfort. Kind of a creative exercise just to expand your boundaries a little bit. I feel like when we're growing up, we're listening to music just kind of like as excited listeners of like, that's a neat noise, that's a cool song, like this thing makes me want to dance, that's interesting, this whatever. And we're not, bogged down into like, I like rock, that isn't rock. I like jazz, that's not jazz. We're not worried about any of those things. We're just worried about, is it fun music or not? Sometimes hilarious musical ideas are a part of some of the, more fun songs that have stood the test of time, like my guilty pleasure songs or anyone's guilty pleasure songs, which is ridiculous. Again, at some point we just liked music, and then at some point it was like, well, I like this one but I feel guilty about it. Like so say what I want, what I really really want, tell me what I want, what I really want, what I want to do, and something, and it's like that Spice Girl song is really good. The bow 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 do do do. Like that's really, it's a lot of fun to listen to. It'd probably be fun to solo over, honestly. Like it's a fun song, kind of some ridiculous musical ideas and kind of like over the top. Another fun, like ridiculous idea to me, again, listening to it, I didn't think it was that ridiculous, but I know if I tried to come up with the Phantom of the Opera theme. I don't know if I would start a song like that. I might go, that's cool, but maybe I'll try like, which sounds a lot more normal. Sounds a lot, it doesn't sound bad. Doesn't sound bad at all. But it's just, something extra happened. I went, let's rein it in. And I reined it into something else that was also good. But maybe I should trust that initial instinct. So say I want to come up with like a rhythm part or something that's a little bit surprising to myself. I have to think of the guitar, or I can think of the guitar, as just some wood and metal and whatever. Not like, I wouldn't think of this is F, this is E, whatever. In those scenarios, I would just try to be following sounds the way I did when I first started playing. So let me take some extremes just to, why not? I'd pick the lowest note, right? Some high business that I probably wouldn't normally play, and go, all right, make music, do something, make something happen. Like, all right, I'll give it a shot. Now, is that the best riff I've ever written? No. But it's gonna take me somewhere else. I'm gonna feel like the need, like, I gotta make some music out of it. I just put myself in a weird scenario and I gotta get myself out. I gotta make something musical enough to justify this. And then I can build on that, though. And I can go, okay, what if I change the bass notes sometimes? So you can see that I left in parts that I'm like not, I'm struggling, I'm kind of reaching for something, and that's the part of it. I will be struggling and reaching for something, reaching for new ideas. New ideas are hard to get. If I wanted to just sound good when I picked up the guitar, I would have just done like... right? Just play some blues licks, just play something I know. chances are I'll sound all right if I play something like that. If I play something I've shedded over and over and over again, chances are I might sound potentially cool, potentially miserable if I, go with a more theoretical approach of like, let me try high and low and go searching for something I haven't played before. It can also work with songwriting as well, though. I can start out with a basic idea. Again, not bad, just something that is I've played before and I'll play again, and I've heard before and I'll hear again. And go, how do I take this and make it just needlessly intense? I could think of like a bass line that would be like, oh yeah, that would take it into a ridiculous area, and then I'd have to work my way out. When I came back to the original idea that was a bit more simple, all of a sudden, at least to me, it was like, oh, we're back where we started. Wow, I didn't see, like, we had gone so far out that I didn't think we were going to come back there. So there I went from G major to G minor, but I was really just following this do-do-do, that kind of bass line, which wouldn't make a lot of sense going. That's not what I was going for. I was going for like just like a very serious, intense flavor, and it was like, immediately it's like a cliche Western cowboyish idea or something in the middle of this happy otherwise thing. And if I just throw like a intense cowboy Western in there, and I'm like, all right, I gotta make it work now, I can end up with a few other ideas. I can end up surprising myself with the ideas I come up with, and I might end up with an idea that's a little different, that's a little, not something I would have come up with if I just like had to come up with something real quick. So we made riffs, we've approached it from a songwriting perspective. We can also do that with soloing. And one of the ways I like to go about like making a solo that I wouldn't expect to play is to take about 50 takes of something and then make an unreasonable comp of my favorite takes. So it might start out really high or really low on the guitar, and then, 3 beats later, in a different solo, like 20 solos later, I played something really cool in the opposite area of the neck. If I like it, I have to pick it. And then I end up with a solo usually at the end where it's just low, high, low, all over the place. And it's quite surprising, and it's definitely, lacking in cliches. It's definitely a lot of different kinds of approaches to guitar, especially if I'm looking at the takes, like take 45 or something like that. I think at that point I played all my like good solos, and at that point I'm reaching like, pulling out techniques that I don't normally do, like the thumping technique or playing with like tapping with 8 fingers or something like that. And I'm going to try some wacky stuff, and a lot of the times it's just wacky. And sometimes I end up with kind of a really cool idea. I can mine a little bit of gold here and there and all of a sudden throw it into the comp. So then I kind of have to transcribe the comp and, understand it as if it was someone else's transcription or something like that, and kind of deconstruct it. Like, what made it so surprising? What made it so interesting? What were some of the cool melodic ideas? And then I can kind of learn how to maybe play a little random on purpose. So again, throughout all this, I'm not trying to say that like weird ideas are good and normal ideas are bad, or whatever, more common ideas are bad. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just trying to say, if you want to like kind of move your boundaries, or if you feel like you're kind of boxing yourself in and you're getting tired of the same old thing, these are ways to remind yourself that at one point we all just listened to music enthusiastically, and we didn't go like, well, that's not rock enough, or that's not jazz enough, or whatever. We just played what we liked, and we listened to what we liked. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, checking out the Patreon in the description. And if you have a Fractal FM3, there's some links as well to some free presets that I've made. So thanks very much for watching, and thanks for dropping by the channel where we're excited about guitar.